Hi folks, welcome back to iDrum. We're still here in Germany and I'm delighted to say that we are now sitting here with one of my favourite drummers, a man that's not perhaps as known as well as he really should be, because I really believe that this man has wonderful facility, but above all he's musical and he has a great feel, and I'm delighted to introduce to you Mr. Jost Nickel. Jost, sir, thank you so much for your time.
Likewise, thank you.
Pleasure to be here with us and Sonor and everybody for the festival. Now it's looking like a busy year for you already. I mean, you do Jan Delay, so
yeah, that's true. And
tell the people maybe a little bit about Jan.
Yeah, Jan is really a big star in Germany, and his lyrics are in German. So most really successful German artists are successful in Switzerland and Austria as well, where they speak German. So it's really, there's different aspects where it's really good to play with him. Because first of all, I really like the way he approaches music.
Mm-hmm.
That's my main thing, because I really feel good when I play with him, and I really feel like what I want to contribute, that's what he wants to hear.
Nice.
So it's not, I don't have to think about what should I play because he likes this but I like that. So it's a really nice musical relationship, and it being so successful makes us play many gigs, and we have really good, large audiences, and it's a great experience overall to play a really big pop gig like that with heartfelt music, because that's not always the case.
Sure, yeah.
And we really play live, so we don't use any click tracks on stage, because I don't really like doing that.
No.
And he absolutely hates doing that.
Right.
So that's perfect, and so it's really good to we play big summer festivals. The next thing that's coming up is one of the biggest festivals here in Europe. It's called Rock am Ring.
Oh yeah, I know.
And so there's 60,000 people in front of us, and we're playing, and we're really playing live, and it's just such a great experience to do that.
I mean, it's quite. Is it a big band?
Yeah, it's quite a big band.
When you go out.
Yeah, we added. The band is together since 2006, so it's already 8 years, and it's just one more guitar player now, because the style of music has changed a little bit more into a rocky version, and so it's 3 horns, 3 background singers, 2 guitar players, keyboards, bass, and me. And
lovely.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Jan should think about maybe writing some songs in English or something, which might give him a little more exposure.
Yeah, the thing is, there's quite a few offers to play abroad. We played in Moscow, and we even were invited to play a gig in Miami.
Right.
And we could have gone to Japan and Mexico, but his lyrics are very important to him. And, And he really doesn't feel like he wants to sing in front of audiences that don't understand what he's singing about.
Right.
So he doesn't really feel the need to play anywhere else.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, it's a shame for us, but I respect it on the other hand. So
no, he has his integrity.
Yeah.
And rightly so. Okay, right. But are there any plans for a new record or anything other than that?
You mean with other artists?
Yes.
I really like being, from time to time, I really like being a sideman, and so I'm playing on different records all the time.
Right.
And I like, it's really session work,
Yeah.
It's you get there, you get a lead sheet, you hear the song, and then you play and get a good sound, which I really like doing. But sometimes it's not the music I really love. It's more. I feel more like a craftsman. I enjoy doing that, but not too much.
Yeah.
But since session work has really, nobody's really doing that anymore. But from time to time I play on records from artists that I don't play with live.
Right. I mean, do you have a studio at home where you can do stuff if people fly you the files and stuff?
Yeah. I started doing that 6 months ago with Ali Busse, who's the bass player of Jan Delay, and we teamed up and have a nice studio where my drum set is set up and mic'd and everything. But honestly, I don't really believe in the thing that people send me files and then I just play and then they are happy, because normally what happens when you go in the studio, they comment on the sound and on the fills, and maybe we could have a different snare drum, and all of this is the creative process.
There's some interaction.
All, you know, I don't know if people want me to do that, I would try, but maybe if it doesn't feel right,
it's a little cold.
Yeah. And then, you know, I prefer doing other things.
Yeah. I mean, but do you find that there's kind of producers that like working with you, that phone you up and say, Jost, you know, there's 2 days next week, can you get into the studio or something?
Yeah, but most of the time I go in their studios.
I mean that. But there's like a couple of regular producers that will phone you up.
Yeah.
That's because then they know what they're going to get. They know what you want to do.
Right.
They can match the artist to the musician.
Yeah, and most of the time, the sound is really crucial.
Yeah.
How your drum kit sounds and how you tune the kit. And
of course,
I like my sound. I know that there's people who don't like my sound. You know, it's my sound.
Sure.
But the people I work with always comment on the sound. Always say, "Hey, your sound is so good." The mixing engineers say they don't need to use any gates. It's natural. So that's really important, and I really paid much attention to it.
I was watching you very closely yesterday, and you started your performance off and you played along to some Yandele tracks.
Right.
And I noticed that actually you're really only just playing above the head.
That's right, and I think the way I like to hear the drums, the sound gets better when you don't hit them too hard.
Sure, yeah.
Because as soon as you hit them too hard, especially with the bass drum, you lose a lot of low end and stuff. But the other thing is, when I play too loud, I can't play certain things that I would like to hear in what I'm doing, because the overall volume is so high that the subtle things I would like to play are just get lost. So, so I try not to. Would you say overpace?
Overplay.
Overplay? No, not overplay. I try not to play with too much.
Too much force.
Too much force. Because then once you are there, it's hard to pull back. So that's what I try doing when I play clinic.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, were there drummers that you listened to that you tried to emulate when you were younger?
Yeah, of course.
Can you give?
Probably. Let me think. One of the first guys I really got into was Steve Gadd. That was because of my drum teacher, and he had this. There was a book of Steve Gadd transcriptions, and he gave me the book, and I just loved to play these grooves. But I never. But it took me a long time to really listen to the records.
Right. Okay.
At first, I only had the book and played the beats.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then later, I got into listening to the feel. And what I like most about Steve Gadd is the feel and the sound. And when you really watch closely what he does and really listen to the records, you hear that he's not really playing soft most of the time. Really, the snare is like poof, like this.
Yeah.
And he gets a huge sound, and that's why his ghost notes you can hear them all the time, because his backbeat is not really loud, and the ghost notes just sound louder.
It all fits the picture. Yeah.
It's just some natural way of compressing.
Right.
And what really inspired me, and there's other drummer stuff, but I get back to that. And what really inspired me, there was this movie called Standing in the Shadows of Motown.
Yeah.
And the guy who inspired me the most was the tambourine player.
Oh yeah, Jack Ashford.
I don't know.
I think it's Jack Ashford.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I don't know his name, but he played the tambourine really softly, and then you could hear all these. So he had accents and non-accent notes, but the difference in volume was not too high.
Yeah.
And so that's why all these figures really sound so good.
Right.
And that inspired me, because since then I try to not play my accents too loud. In cases where I want all the subtleties to come out well.
Sure, yeah.
So that was an inspiration.
Right.
And then Omar Hakim was really a big influence because of his first Sting's first solo CD.
Oh yeah, the Blue Turtles.
Yeah, and I really liked the drumming, and I really listened to that record. I don't know. 1,000 times maybe.
Okay.
Maybe not, but I really like so much. And then the live records, Bring on the Night. And interestingly, I listened to this live record a while ago, like a month ago, and I played along to it because just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
And then while playing along to it, I realized certain, and I don't mean certain mistakes, but no, there were no mistakes because they fit in perfectly in the music. But I thought if I would have played this and came in with the accent a little too early, like Omar did, I would have maybe not liked my performance, you know.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But listening to it and not judging the performance,
Right. Yeah.
made me feel good about the performance. So that was a really interesting experience, to not be too hard on yourself when you judge your own playing.
Yeah. There's beauty in imperfection.
Definitely, and the thing is, if you just listen to music, you don't pay attention to mistakes so much.
No.
Like when you listen to music that you have played on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Then you're always like scanning for
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah. So I try to, when I listen to music or when I make music, I try to get into the audience perspective of perceiving the music.
Right.
And not so much into I'm listening to my own playing.
Right. Do you almost sort of project yourself out there,
I
like
try to
listening
do
back?
that.
Yeah.
It's still a path I'm on. But I try to do that.
No, that's a very admirable path, though, Jost, I have to say. You know.
Yeah, it makes me enjoy what I do more.
Yeah.
And I want to enjoy what I do.
Of course.
And it's not always the case.
No.
You play a gig, and even if it's hugely successful and there's many people and the sound is good, but then you're not happy with certain things you did or you do, and then you go off stage, but everybody liked it, but you're like, and so I try to enjoy more what I do because I'm in a very good situation.
Sure,
I'm playing drums and I make a living. And I'm playing with great artists and I'm doing clinics and I meet great drummers like Chris Coleman who say nice things about me, which makes me humble.
No, and rightly so. I mean, what he says is true.
You know, when I thought about doing the Sono days, I was like, shit, Jojo and Chris are there. That's not easy. But I always get, I never try to be somebody else because I can't.
It's not a competition.
Right. It's not a competition, and it can be frightening to see somebody play who's as good as Jojo or as good as Chris because they are so good at what they do. It's just, it's lightning speed and great sound and everything. And but I always get back to that point that I just play the way I play, and then and I try to make it musical in a way that I feel like it is musical.
Yeah. But I think the balance of the players here this weekend is perfect.
Yeah.
And in a way, everybody complements each other, and yet it's all different.